Hey, what's up, everyone? We're the Bates International Group. I'm Ebony.
Hey, Mohammed here. Happy Monday, everybody.
That's right. We're missing Marty today, but it's a holiday, so we're towing the line here, and we wanted to kind of talk about some numbers today and get back to some of the predictions that we had made in the past, and look at the numbers and talk to you about that. And in the past, I think that what we had said is it's kind of last call for sellers, and and we talked about pricing and making sure that the sellers really hit that mark, because if you don't hit that mark, the cancel culture is real. People have really short patience, and if you don't get it right, the sellers aren't having a lot of room. And now we've got kind of the proof in the pudding. So Mohammed, I know you have a lot to say about this, and you also have the screen share where we can point to some numbers and tell the folks what we're actually seeing, and take it from there.
No problem. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna share my screen so you can kind of see what we're talking about here. You want to take a look. These are some aggregated numbers that Ebony pulled up on our behalf. To kind of take a look at where the market has been trending over the last 3 months. And if you kind of look here, top left hand of your screen, you can see these are the numbers for July, August, and September of this year. We're looking at the units sold, volume of sales, median sales price, the EOM inventory, the MSI is monthly sales indicators, pending sales, units sold, sold volume, sold median, days on market, cumulative days on market. The important thing to look at here, there are a couple of really important numbers to look at here, and I'm gonna, kind of just narrow down on a couple of categories. So units listed, this is important. So there were 1,353 units listed in July. There were only 1,001 units listed in August, and there were 1,865 units listed in September. The listed volume for your purposes really isn't that important. The median sales price for your purposes generally isn't that important. The MSI is what's really important here. So if you look at units listed of these 13 in July, 1,300, we round this off to 1,400 units that were listed in the month of July, you're looking at a 1.9 MSI. So 1.9 means it's a seller's market. Anything below 3 is seller's market. Anything above 3 is a buyer's market. 3 represents your point of equilibrium. So 1.9 is still a strong seller's market. August, you had a lower number of units that were listed, less 353 units that were listed in August, still a seller's market, 1.9 MSI. Now, between July and August, you had the number of listings increase from 1,353 to 1,865. So you're looking at, roughly 40 some odd percent more listings in July, but you have an MSI 2.9, which means we're almost at equilibrium. So the leverage the sellers had in July, they didn't have in September. You also look at pending sales. You had a number of, well, we can skip over pending sales. We can just go to units sold so you can get a clearer picture of this. You had over 1,000 units that were sold in the month of July. You only had 676 units that were sold in the month of September. And then on top of that, you had the number of...
Let's just say there, Mohammed, because I think, real quick, each realtor and each person is going to see, value in each, segment. I tend to look at units sold. For me, that is the most valuable field, in my opinion. And the reason is you can see that in July, the amount sold versus the amount listed versus, and in September, look at the number listed, 1,865 listed, but you have less that have actually sold.
So look at the percentages. The important part of this is the percentages. So you basically had in the month of July, approximately 70% of properties that were listed, 1,353 listed, 1,000 units or so, approximately 70% of the properties that were listed were sold, and they were sold in about 3 weeks, 23 days. In the month of September, you had 1,865. So I was going to say 1,900 units that were listed in the month of September, and 676 were actually sold. So roughly 33% of properties that were listed in the month of September actually sold, and they sold in a month. So the amount of time that it took them to sell was higher. The amount of properties that were sold was considerably less. Now, what this tells me specifically is that, one, sellers are losing their leverage because we're moving into a point of equilibrium. And then two, if you're going to sell, properties right now are still selling fast, but the properties that are selling fast are the ones that are meeting market standards, which means that they are priced right according to the market, and that they are also produced. They are staged, they are fixed up, they are renovated at a point to where the market finds them valuable or viable. So essentially, if your property is not renovated to market standards and is not priced to market standards, it's not going to sell quickly if it sells at all. Because right now, 60+% of properties that are hitting the market are not selling according to these numbers. So what does that translate into? Right? So let's think about what that means for you as a seller. As a seller, that means that you need to be very judicious on where you spend your funds to renovate the property. On number two, it says that, and this is my opinion, it says that as a seller, you need to be careful about how you price your property. And we talk about this all the time. When this was a seller's market, you could overprice your property and get more because the inventory was so limited and there was such demand for properties. That is changing now. So if you're coming into the October market with the same mentality that you had in the June, July market, you are going to get burnt.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate thing. So we could talk, join us for our roundtables. The first Thursday of each month, we go way into depth on this. But the takeaway is for our sellers here, just be mindful. You can still sell. It's still a hot market. And even in a down market, you can still make a sale. Even if you have a terrible property, that has been through the ringer, it can still sell. You just got to price it correctly. So get a hold of us.
Don't be greedy. Like, being greedy right now will get you burnt.
Yeah. I mean, you can see it in the numbers. We called it out, a couple of months ago, but now the numbers are in. Obviously, October's numbers aren't in yet because this stuff is in arrears. But this is just a message to everyone, letting you know to get out in front of this. So hey, we're the Bates International Group. I mean, we could talk about this forever. We appreciate you. Come see us again. That's all I got to say. I mean, we gave it to them. It's up to them what to do with it.
Hey, you want more advice? Hit us up on all social media platforms at the Bates International Group. Email us directly, info@the-Bates International Group, and we can talk about this a lot more. If you have a specific case, if you're looking to buy, if you have a specific case where you're looking to sell and you want some advice on how you can maximize your asset, reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to help you. Until next time.
Why are we surrounded by